Hi, Rita. Hi, Aaron. Mossy Oak 10. Hi. Hi, Shelly. Hi. Finding Faith's Future. Hi, Susie. Mana Ray 22. Hello. Hi, Mossy Oaks from Southern California. Hello. Hi. Susie P. Hi. Oh gosh, right before bed. It's like 4 o'clock here where I'm at in the afternoon. Hi, Janice. Hey, Aaron. Loved your scope, Aaron. Yeah. Hi, Susan. Thank you. I'm glad you love my planners. My baby's taking a nap, so this is the perfect time. I never can really put a time on what I'm going to do. It's noon because things vary so much for me with kids and stuff. But I think this is a really, really important thing, and it's super, super heavy. This is a heavy topic. This isn't lighthearted, let's get our washi tape out. This is a tough one because I really feel like, thanks Rita for inviting followers. Also too, before I just dive in headfirst with 2 feet, I'm going to go ahead and tell any new ones who I am, even if you're on the replay, if you're new. Thanks for inviting followers. My name is Jenny Penton. I am a homeschooling mom of 8. And I like to teach women how to, hey Audrey, I like to teach women to plan beyond their to-do list and to find their identity outside of motherhood. I've also created an amazing set of plan books for your traveler's notebook and a method that helps women become not only more organized but more goal-oriented. I paint plan books. I am an artist, and I also have a book out called Planner Perfect that is on Amazon Kindle. So, and it's all about my method, and you can do it ring bound or traveler's notebook. So, having said all of that, welcome and thanks for coming on in and being in the room. I am going to dive in. We're going to talk about the identity crisis that I think that a lot of women have, because I know I did. And so, it's important that we get first things first done and you truly understand and know who you are, because your planner, you can plan your heart out and decorate your heart out and buy a billion planners and have all of this and that. But you know what, Audrey? No, my revised book, that's not the launch for that, and I don't have a launch date for that yet. My biggest one are the plan books, and the next step will be my revised ebook. So hang tight for that. You'll definitely get the memo on that. So I think that no matter how fun and cool we create these books, they can't do anything for us if we don't know who we are and we don't know where we're going. Am I right? I mean, because then virtually you're just planning to-dos and your next kid's soccer game. Boring. If that's all you're doing, that's boring, because there's more to your life than that, okay? And I have 8 kids, so I know. Believe me, I totally know. So I think what we need to really understand and know is who we are. We need to know who we are. And man, that's a heavy statement. Am I right? That's a heavy statement, because then even if you know who you are, you have to know now what. So it's a journey and all that. But I know that awakening, once you're awoken to this, once you're awoken and you're awakened to the thought that you are created for more than the roles you play, that's exciting. That's exciting, because I think a lot of times as women, we get slipped up into being a little bit depressed or not understanding or knowing what we're doing, or some women might think that motherhood is their calling, but in all actuality, motherhood is your role, one of the roles you play. And once you're awakened to this, oh gosh, Sid. So once you're awakened to this, it's really exciting. And now that level of awareness has put you on a different playing field. You are now you're awakened to this, and now you've got some game on, right? you've got some things that you need to unearth and you need to know. I'm going to read you something from Rick Warren. He's amazing. He said something that really nailed it on the head, and I love what he has to say, and I'll read it to you. He said, when Jesus spoke again to the people, now this is in John 8:12, he said, I'm the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. I think first we need to understand that we find identity in Christ. That's where we find our identity. We were made by a creator, and we are somebody. So you need to understand that first, and understanding that, then you find your purpose. So for everyone to understand, though, that they were created with a plan and with a purpose and by a creator, now that is where you find your identity, is it within Christ. So you can just slap down, say that right now. You don't have to go searching and searching. And I wanted to really get all you girls to understand that, because I hadn't really completely articulated that big important thing. You don't have to be squandering around thinking, oh no, my identity's lost. Kind of like that one SpongeBob episode. Did you ever see it? And really he thought his identity was in his name tag. Remember that? And then once he found it, he thought, oh, now I'm back. I found my name tag. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. You don't have to start searching around and looking for who am I? Oh no, I'm lost. You already have an identity, and you have an identity in Christ, and that is who you are. You have been created and you were made with a purpose, okay? So that's your first understanding. You have to know that. You were created by God, and He will tell you, yes. Audrey, yes. But I'm going to dig a little further, and this is really exciting because you got to know who you are, okay? And I will tell you this. Let me read this to you first, and I'll go from there. He said, when Jesus said, I'm the light of the world, He was defining Himself. That's chilling. He was defining Himself. He was saying, I know who I am. More than 18 times in the Bible, Jesus said, I am. And then He gives a description. He described Himself as the door, the bread of life, the way, the truth, the resurrection, and the life. Over and over, He defines Himself. Jesus knew who He was, and as a result, He was not under pressure. And so this is the principle of identity. As long as you are unsure of your identity, you're going to be pressured to fit into other people's roles. I suffered from that myself, where you try to fit into what other people want you to play, so that you're losing yourself, okay? This will manipulate you. Then will try to make you into what they think you ought to be, rather than what God made you to be. Okay, one of the major causes of stress comes from trying to be somebody that you're not. Let's see. When you are fearful that someone's going to find out what you're really like, that you might not be able to keep up the facade, it causes stress. So the only way you can counterbalance outside external pressures is to have an internal sense of satisfaction about who you are and who God made you to be. And you discover who you are by knowing whose you are. Isn't that just exciting? That's very, very exciting. The Bible says that you were created by God and you are deeply loved by Him and you're accepted as you are, and He has a plan for your life. And until you settle this issue of identity, you'll be insecure and you'll be pressured by stress. You cannot serve other people until you settle this issue. I really, really felt that this was important for me to share with you guys. It's so vital, and I think you guys need to know it. Outside of that, and I will have to say, this is why mission statements are important and all these other things are important, because once you discover who you are, you know what? No, I found it online. I did. Rick Warren online, rickwarren.org. And I love Rick Warren, and I looked up identity on what he had to say about it, and it really hit the nail on the head of what I'm trying to convey. And I just loved how he said that, and he brought more into it than I ever could. I just loved what he said. And, once you start identifying then and you're revealed on who you are and what your gifts are and what your calling is, again, I don't want any woman to ever think, rickwarren.org. Yes, that was it. Because of the fact that, now as for me, I'm going to go just for me because that's all I can go off of. For me, okay, I understand, for the longest time too, I did fill other roles. Like if someone asked me, let's say 10 years ago, this is where I was at 10 years ago, if someone said, or even 8 or 5, and I feel like it's just been on me where I've been able to release this part of me for good. But if someone were to say, who are you? I'd say, well, I know who my mom wants me to be. I know what my husband thinks about that topic. I know what, you know what I mean? I don't know if anyone can identify with that. But where I was then was I was always like, well, I know how my mom would want me to discipline my kids. I know how my mom would feel about if I kept them up at 11. I know how, and it was really a lot of mom based. I had to work through that big time because I didn't even know who I was, what I felt was right. And if I ever had a question, I would call my mom and she would have to tell me the answer. That is so bogus. You have to know who you are. And that is just fundamental. Once again, this is why this is so vital, because your planner is going to mean jack squat to you, and it can't take you anywhere but schedule your toilet cleaning and your soccer games. That's all it's going to do for you. And, big deal. Use Google for that then. And who cares? This beautiful planner can take you places, especially if you know who you are and where you're going. Yes. Oh, yeah, Rita. It is so, and that was me too, on how he's perceived. And I always felt like I had to have my tone a certain way, and I had to, because my mom would always question my tone. She's like, do you have a tone? She would always say that. So I just felt like I could not be truly me. I always had to put up a facade of who she wanted me to be, and it was really, really hard. A lot of times, that's why journaling is so great. Same feeling without kids, but spending your days in an office. Yes, absolutely. I think, absolutely. That's the total truth. It doesn't matter if you're a mom or not. I mean, this is like big time stuff. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you stand for. You need to know what you believe. You need to be content with who you are. And then you can say, okay, what am I good at? What are my talents? What do I love? And where am I going? And you can be a stay-at-home mom. Now, this is where mission statements play a big, huge role. So, as for me, they can feel completely useless. And as for me, let's say, okay, now I'm going for plan books, okay? I'm an artist, okay? I'm doing this. I teach women that. Okay, I have certain goals for this. Now, what are my limitations within this realm of now that I know where I'm going? I can define who I am now. I know who I am, where I'm going, what my purpose is, what my calling is, and I am a stay-at-home mother of 8. Okay, now, I have goals for my family. I have goals of how I want to go for them. And we're going to touch on some of this kind of stuff on a later scope too. But also too, now what? How far are you willing to go, right? Because if you really want to go for something, let's say, you have to know what your limitations are. So as for me, I would never hire a nanny. Okay? If it got to the point where I needed to hire a full-time nanny, count me out. That you have to know now. Now this is going to now start to split off to do what different women want and feel. Okay? Now I'm a stay-at-home mom. And for me, I know I would never want to miss a beat. I wouldn't want to miss a beat. If I'm going to miss my baby, running around on the floor because I'm busy doing this or that to try to go get ahead and achieve this, that's not where I'm at in this season of my life. So the mission statement can actually really benefit yourself and what you know and what you hold to what you want to stay true to in this season. Okay, so I have okay, I'm going to launch this here, I'm going to do this here, but this is where I break off. Anything other than that, I'll wait and pull to another season. You know what I mean? That's why mission statements are so important, because then you know not only who you are, but you know where you're going. You know what God gave you as talents. You know what you're called to do outside of motherhood. Hello. Now you've got a mission statement, and now you know, what if something happens and what I'm taking this to, and mind you, you don't find your, and you need to know how far you want to go. So you need to have a mission statement down of exactly what that looks like for you in this time. So I remember my mom would always say, you have to get out once a week and go out with your girlfriends and pay a sitter. That's just no ifs, ands, or buts. That's what you have to do. It's just what moms have to do. They have to get out. Yeah, they do. But guess what? I wish I would have known. I wish I would have known who I was first. I would rather pay one of my kids, leave my kids with my husband, and go sit somewhere and paint for 4 hours, one day a week, than make time to just go have coffee with a girlfriend to chat about and gossip once a week. honestly. And I would save my special moments with girlfriends and make those times, but I wouldn't have made it something where I've got to get out and escape once a week and just go chat and have coffee. I would rather use that time. You know how you see what I'm saying? You can use that now, and you can use that for your calling and where you're going, and that's what's so fun. And yet I can be a stay-at-home mom, ever present, and have them be my first priority. You know what I mean? So I wish I would have known that then. And that's why I just think it's so important that you know where you're going and you know who you are and you can define who you are. Yeah, rather have that me time, me too. And you pick those few chosen friends, you know, you got those precious friends that you make that time for. But you don't need to spread yourself thin and go out and have fun with all these girlfriends and you're still coming home to the same life you had where you still don't know who you are, but you're getting out and you're getting coffee at Starbucks. That was me. I had that. I love my friends too. I do, and I make sure that I make time for them. And I don't have a gazillion friends either that are close. I have just 2 because I don't have many more time for that. I don't. I love having acquaintances and girlfriends all over, but my close, yes, my soulmates, your close buddies, you can only afford to have a couple of those because that's an investment and you're serious about that. And you've got to, anyone that you say you are my BFF, you owe them some of your time and your love and your devotion. So you can't spread yourself out too thin. So you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to just say, no, and that kind of thing. So, and your sister, of course. So anyway, I just feel, yes, agreed, Rita, totally agreed. And you want to make sure that they're on your same wavelength and your same page, these women that you're hanging around. Yes, 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 yes. I've played it with my friends, but love when hubby just runs a bath with wine and a book. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I lived my whole 20s with play dates. I lived my whole life play dating in my 20s. And I will tell you this, if I could scroll back time and if I knew what I know now, what I did then, I would be a lot better off. That's just the truth. If I did know, I sat around and I would gossip with my girlfriend about what a jerk my husband was that day. And then we would go, and our kids would play and I'd come home. And that was my, those are my days. That was all my days. And then that's when I started to hit me. I was like, I'm missing something. I never could put a pin on it. And your time is precious. Yes, yes, yes. And that is also true. So definitely, it's true. I mean, definitely. I think though, Rita, I totally believe and know what you're saying. That is totally how it is. So I did learn a lot, and I would never trade that for the world and what you learn, in your younger days and all of that. But if someone could have came along and helped me, that would have been really great because I took a lot of time, 10 years of my life trying to discover who I was and what that was missing from my life. And I want to teach my daughters and my sons this now. I don't want to just, and especially my daughters, I think, because, they'll, probably will flow into the homemaker thing. And I don't think that they already are headed that way. I don't think that they are. But this way, they can already get a leg up on understanding and knowing who they are and where their identity comes from and discovering their purpose. And I never really had that advice in that regard. And I really would have benefited from it. Anyway, my Sydney is on here and I'm just in love with her. She's my son's girlfriend. I'm crazy about her. I'm present motherhood and really trying to find myself outside of it. That's what I mean. That was me too, because I think, and men too, I absolutely believe that with my whole heart. I believe that. And just being a woman, I can only, figuring it out, finally feel like I found my path. That's totally how it is. And that was for me too. I was struggling a lot and just trying to find my identity. And I think I had a lot of, and I know I did, I had a lot of parental issues that I had to work through and identify and put boundaries up with. Because I was slowly spinning into something that I was trying to be someone I wasn't, and I didn't even know who I was. So that took a lot of unearthing. And that was still at the same time frame that I was getting to understand what my gifts were, what my talents were. So all of it is a journey. And I was a stay home. Isn't that the truth though? I mean, it is. And I wish that I would have even known it earlier. And having 8 kids, oh, I love that. That's wonderful. Those are amazing that you were taught that. And that's what I want to do with my own children, with my, absolutely, without a doubt, is that they need, and you know, you don't have to feel like just because you're a mom that you can't have an outside interest. You know what I mean? And you can't go for something. And I'm still want to pursue something big, but I still would never, I mean, my sister said something to me. She said, you know, it's not going to come without sacrifice. So you might as well get used to it. And you might as well just, start, you know, you're going to be on planes traveling and all that. Well, what if I don't want to? What if I don't want to sacrifice this? Then I won't. I mean, I just know where my limitations are to where I personally want to be. Plus, I'm leaving that all in the hands of God and where He's taking me. So I'm not even going to go and go nuts over that and think that way, because I think that He will change the course of and make things happen and all of that. And I know for me that my heart is home and with my babies. I know that. I know that for a fact. I just know that. And all else that I'm pursuing is just so phenomenal and amazing to me. And I'll do it right along with them. And my husband even said, he goes, you know, if we flew somewhere and if you spoke somewhere, I'd fly us all out. And I'm like, woo, because I wouldn't do without you guys. I mean, it's just something like that. So the mission statements are great. You can define who you are, you can know where you're going, and you know your limitations and what you won't do and what you will do. And I think that's why those mission statements are so important. And so, yeah, definitely. I think that a lot of women, and I've been getting messages from women about this identity thing, and it's been eye-opening for me, because I can see how other women have been affected in a positive way, yet they're still upset because they don't know what to do now and stuff like that. But I think that the biggest important thing of all is knowing that you do find your identity in Christ. God made you. You were made by a creator, and so you're created with a purpose and a plan. That's exciting. That's an awakening moment. Once you're awoken to that, now it's just, oh wow, now what? Now this is exciting. This isn't sad or oh God, you know, I was. No, you are. So now you are loved. You were made with a purpose. You're made by a creator. Now it's discovering where we go now. We are human, just we can't follow the routines. And you know, we need to now it's like unearthing our gifts and our talents and where we're headed, and finding that out, because that's really an exciting time, and that is how our planners can take us to a new level. I'm going to go ahead and scroll you through my planner just really quick before I let you go on this note. But my planner I'm in love with, and it does take me somewhere, and it harnesses my goals and dreams, and it harnesses where I'm taking my family and everything. And again, I paint these plan books, and I'm having a big launch in spring, and I'm excited for it. And each journal represents a month of planning. So that's pretty fun. It's using my Planner Perfect method of each, thank you, of each, thanks, Audrey. It has, and how it's set up, the Planner Perfect method is just set up where you've got your month. Oh, Angel, you're so welcome. This is my dashboard. You've got your calendar, and then you've got your goals for the month specific. So you've got your goals for January, and then you go into your day-to-day, and I have a page for a day, and I go by the flow of it, and it's not full of to-dos. And I will tell you, I'm going to dive
in my next scope, we're going to be talking about to-dos, okay? Because I know a lot of women have had questions for me. They're like, well, Jenny, I've got to-dos, okay? So what do I do? And I hear you. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that and how I do it and because I will tell you, I've got to-dos, but they definitely don't overtake my life, and that's a promise. I definitely don't live by to-dos, not at all. And I've got a huge family. And guess what? We barely go anywhere. I don't live in my car. I don't take kids everywhere. We live a very calm, low key, unbusy life. And we learn and do things on our leisure, which I feel we learn more together in that regard. If we were busy and I was throwing my 2-year-old in the car all the time, driving all over the place, I would be half mad and my baby would be screaming and he doesn't want to sit in his car seat again and here we go again with my life, and I'm not doing it. I left that train with the 4th kid. I'm done. And you have more family quality time, which that is more time. We do a museum Fridays. We're self-employed, so my husband can do that. But even if I wasn't, I would do it on my own. But I know, it's not a badge of honor because busyness does not equate success in any regard. It just doesn't. And a lot of stuff can be kind of just filled. Your calendar is so full of just stuff. It doesn't mean anything. I start to get real nervous if my calendar is full. I start to get the shakes, and I'll try to stop it from happening. I thought in my early 20s that a full calendar meant you were one busy great mom. Oh Lord, no way. That does not mean that. No. So we're going to talk on that and how your planner can help you be all you can be. I pull from my goals that I have in my January goals and I put them in here in my days for my family and for me. So that is how thank you so much. That is how I use my planner. And I'll have a top 3 of what I want to bang out and do. And I fill it with a lot of me. I fill it with a lot of what my personal goals are, what we're going to do for dinner, what we're going to do after dinner. There's a lot of thought that goes into this, and I usually do it a week in advance. Yes, it does not equate success, not at all. And actually, the less busier we are, the more we learn. We do museum Fridays. That's all on our own. You know what I mean? So we go visit museums around town. And, oh, seriously, Rita? So cool. So yeah, I love 14. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so cute. So, I'm going to show you, girls, how to fit in the things you do have to get done, how to live less harried, and how to even then, once you are confident in where you're going and what you're doing, how you can decorate a planner and have a planner that really makes you happy so that you can inspire the heck out of yourself. So we're going to be touching on all of that and how you can really, and also we're going to touch on tons of stuff from how you can utilize the goal section for planning out stuff for Valentine's Day, wardrobes, how we can do our menu planning and tuck it in our planners and feel really good about it. I have Valentine ideas, just tons of stuff we have planned. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, and we're going to start talking about then the memory keeping in the back again. I'm going to get down. I never really have shown you how to get started doing it because I reserved the back pages. I've already got some papers tucked away in here of how these are from our museum days. And I'm going to put my pictures in here and decorate it and paint it and make it look amazing. So I'm going to show you that too. So thanks for joining me today. Oh, I'm so glad. Thanks for coming in. Sugar Pie Farm. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. It's vitally important that you do understand this because it's got to be one of the first things we talk about with this planner because
planning your life and decorating it and getting all the stickers and the planners. You can do that till you're blue in the face and spend all the money in the world, but it's not going to matter jack diddly if you don't know who you are and where you're going, because the planner won't, it can only do so much until you know who you are. This planner, you're just wasting your time. You're totally wasting your time. You have to know who you are and you have to know who you are and where you're going and what your purpose is. And so anyway, guys, I'm crazy about you guys. Thank you for coming in. And tomorrow we're going to touch on to-dos. Now we're going to start to dissect into the planner and the world of plan books. And yeah, you know, I'm not into stickers and too much washi, especially stickers. I like stamps. But I do love watercolor, and anybody can do this. So I know, and this isn't new. I mean, I didn't create this, I'll tell you that. But you guys got to start watercolor your pages, because that crinkle of those pages, I used to not do it. Now I do. It's like freaking awesome. You guys got to do it. So we're going to dive into all of that fun stuff too, because now we've got the heavy stuff. You know, we dived into that a little bit. I'll even show you where I put in I'm going to be putting my mission statement in here. And so I'm going to show you where to put that too, because you've got to have that. So start working on this and identifying who you are and diving more and reaching more into understanding who you are, because this is the first thing you got to do before we get into this planning stuff, because now the planner is going to really help you in getting somewhere and taking you places and being a wonderful mom and a homemaker and organized and on top of your game and knowing who you are. Now that's a woman that's a woman, a confident woman, a beautiful woman who knows where she's going. So until next time, I'll see you tomorrow, girls.